I really messed up. A few days ago, I've made a video about my portfolio, but I ended up just having a look at a few positions, and what I really want to do today is to make sure that you understand how I structure my portfolios, what I'm going to buy in a market crash, and on top of that, when I'm going to buy. And let's dive straight into it. So first of all, let's have a look at my portfolio overall. And as you know, I've been keeping 30% cash in case of a market crash. And yes, you knew about it because that's what I told you in this video that I've made a few months ago. And so if you've been subscribed, you wouldn't be too much surprised about this. And so my portfolio is now up 28%, which is not bad at all. This is my ICE account, which is up 7.8%. And as you can see, it's actually not doing too bad at the moment because it used to be under. So I was actually losing a bit of money on this investment. But overall, I cannot complain given the whole tech stocks crash. And my portfolio is mostly tech stocks. So my strategy is actually very simple. I would call it a KISS strategy. Keep it simple, stupid. And so I am going to buy my high conviction stocks as the stock market crashes. And at the moment, there are two stocks that I'm really convinced they will survive this market crash. Everything is on Trading 212, by the way. At the moment, it's very hard to get an account with them. And so you want to get yourself a Freetrade account, just use the link in the description below and you will get a free share valued up to £200. And one is Palantir and the other one is Tesla. So let me explain why I think these two stocks have really great potential. So first of all, I am investing in revenue growth, not my revenue growth, their revenue growth. So Palantir is estimated to have a 30% revenue growth this year, probably next year. They're really having a massive explosion now that they have opened to private businesses. Palantir is also backed by the US government, meaning they basically cannot go bust because the US government has put so much money into them. And so if you play the long game, as I'm doing, that is irreplaceable. It's basically impossible for this company to go bust. And on top of that, Palantir has also got very little debt. And that is why I think is a company that has got very little risk, relatively speaking. If you absolutely want zero risk, then you should just buy yourself an ETF. For example, the S&P 500, and that would follow the stock market as a whole and give you exposure to a bunch of companies, including Tesla. And next, we have Tesla. Now, Tesla has got a projected growth that I'm gonna show you right now. Now, this is the total revenue for Tesla in 2020, $31 billion. And these are the estimates that basically we can expect in 2021. And so we have 48 billion, which is a sales growth of 55% more compared to last year. On top of that, for next year, the growth is estimated to about 29%. And I think these numbers do not actually include many of the businesses that Tesla has got under their wide breadth of companies. And actually, this is one of the reasons why I think that Tesla is really a company that everyone should have in their portfolio. And that is a reason why it's basically like a small ETF, because they have a battery. Obviously, first of all, they have a car business, they have a battery business now, they also have solar panels and they are developing it, insurance for cars for Tesla to start with, but then at some point they might actually broaden it to all the other non-Tesla cars. Chargers that they have already said they're gonna have to give access to other companies, and they probably get some money from the US government as well. And so Tesla is about to become a US-backed company. So that makes it incredibly safe. And on top of that, they also have a monopoly in terms of autonomous driving. And so they are future-proof because you know that this is where the future is going. Sooner rather than later, cars will now have to be driven manually. On top of that, there is also Elon Musk. Elon Musk is probably one of the biggest philanthropists in modern times. And so that actually takes me to the next part. What if it all goes to pot okay, these two companies are great. They have great revenues and they will grow a lot in the next few years. But the stock market is not the same as looking at companies' revenues and stuff like that. There is a big difference. And so sometimes if companies are going very well, it doesn't really mean that the stock price will go up. So when I think Elon Musk, I almost think Steve Jobs. Okay, some people will hate me and throw poopy at me in the comment section, but I think that there is some level of similarity between the two because they are both frontmen and they are both the symbol of their own company. If it all goes to pot, so the stock market crashes and Tesla crashes and everything goes to waste, I would expect Tesla to actually go back to all-time high within a year, as Apple did in 2018 when there was a market crash, and then Apple took a whole year to go back and above all-time high. Because my biggest bet is that Tesla will become the biggest company in the S&P 500. Yes, you heard that right. And that is going to be even bigger than Apple. If Apple succeeded in doing that, just selling phones and iPads and you name it, you can imagine that Tesla can do that with cars and solar panels and autonomous driving and so forth. And now, the part that everyone was waiting for, when I'm going to buy. And for this part, I will need my portfolio. As you can see, Palantir is down 2% in my portfolio and Tesla is up 22%. And to be honest, Tesla is by far and away the biggest position in my portfolio. And let me show it to you. So Tesla is basically 60%. Actually, let's have a look. Yeah, 59.97%. So 60% of my portfolio. Palantir, 12.6%. Started loading up on Palantir quite heavily, with the last crash. And so my strategy will be to wait. And hopefully we'll never get to that. Let me just give you a quick disclaimer. Hopefully we'll never get to that. But if both Tesla and Palantir will crash below 30% from my current prices, and I'm talking about Tesla really going down another 50% from now, so that would be a massive crash, an absolutely ginormous crash, then at that point, I will deploy my cash and buy like crazy Tesla. That would average down my price to about, well, it depends because, you cannot ever time the bottom. But let's imagine that I would get an average price of about between 15, if I'm the luckiest and buying the bottom, all the way to 20, maybe 22%, because I would gradually buy. That's what I'm going to do. If there is a massive crash, 30% below my average price for Tesla, then I would just deploy all my cash and hold for another 4 to 5 years. By that time, I am sure we will be in a better place. I promise you right now. But if you want to look at another speculative play, how about IDEX? The video on the screen right now are the latest news on IDEX stock, an EV play. So click on the video.